presents the Word on the Beat talk show hosted by Jen K. Get ready for another fantastic episode at wordonthebeat.net.
Everybody, welcome to the new year. We are kicking it off with so many exciting things in store. For now, we are with a group out of Lakewood, Washington, who is known as Lostinlkwd. So let's get into this and see what they're all about. What's up, guys?
What's happening? Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so I've known about you guys for a while, but you weren't called Lostinlkwd before. You've been through some rebrands.
Definitely.
Right. And I knew you guys for your solo work.
Yeah.
I didn't really know you as your group.
Right.
So go ahead and introduce yourselves, your individual selves, and then we'll get into what you guys are about.
Easy. What's up, everybody? I'm Skateboard B from Lostinlkwd.
And I'm F4me from Lostinlkwd. Yeah.
So what's the meaning behind your guys' names?
I'll start that one. For me, when I first started doing music, I wanted to kind of have a name that identified with who I am, but but also sounded pretty cool. I'm all about space. I'm an alien dude. I got alien tattoos all over me and stuff like that. So, and stars, all that kind of stuff. So, Astro was like the first part that made sense. Okay, cool. And then the fame part. I always felt growing up kind of invisible because I'm a little different than the rest of my family and friends group and all that stuff. So, like, not necessarily that I want to be famous, but, like, you want to be seen, when you have fame, you're seen. People see you. So that's pretty much where my name came from.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I've been through some name changes. But I used to go by Revert. It was just a name given to me, if I'm being honest with you, and it kind of resonated with me because it was a skateboarding trick. I grew up skateboarding, so it kind of just fell into place, and I ran with that for many, many, many years. And then when we officially decided to become a duo in 2021, I went along with a rebrand of myself as well, and that's where I started going by Skateboard B, which is what everybody used to call me growing up. That was my name, Skateboard B. So that's where that name comes from.
It's super fitting too. Like, honestly,
is it?
If you know him, he skates. His name is Brandon, so it's like.
Right.
That's even better than Revert, for real.
I only knew you as Revert, and I know when I was writing your guys' featured artist interview article. By the way, go check that out. I wrote an article on them featuring Lostinlkwd, pretty in depth. It was so much fun writing it.
I like it. It was really good.
Question.
You guys go check that out, seriously.
Yeah.
So I had to hit you up because I was like, wait, Skateboard B, that's different. That's new to me.
Yeah.
So now, F4me, you spell your name different too.
Yeah, I do.
Why?
My favorite number is 4. So I also wanted to make my name, even though who's going to have the name F4me? That seems extremely unique. No one's going to have that. Just in case, let me make it a little bit more different so there's no way I can get in any trouble with copyrights or none of that. All right, so let's replace all the A's with 4s, which if you think about when you were in school and you have the calculators and you would make words out of the numbers, that's kind of like what came into my head at that time. So I spelled it differently to add the 4. So you really get to know who I am more in moments like this when I can break it down. You're like, okay, I see what the name means, but now I see it's really about him. His favorite number is 4, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah.
I like the depth that you guys have put into your names. Now, Lostinlkwd. Why do you guys call yourself Lostinlkwd?
So we went through a rebrand pretty much a year ago from right now, right? We've been doing we were Spilt Tea previously, right? Which was a great name. But we wanted to, we're older. We're in our 30s now. Things are just a little bit different in life and just in our career of artistry. And so we were thinking, all right, if we rename ourselves, how can we do so to where like we can press forward, but also people know, kind of more about us in a way. So we're from Lakewood, obviously, and if you listen to a lot of the music that we have, not all of it, but a good portion of it, it's has to deal with like being, depressed or sad or like love lost, a little bit of love gained, but like just really to wrap it up, feeling lost. So it just made sense, like, oh, lost in Lakewood, it just makes sense. So that's pretty much what that name is, and we didn't want to make it so like spelling out the whole name and everything. If you're from Lakewood, you know what LKWD is. It's Lakewood, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of where that is.
Yeah, and if we're being honest, like Spilt Tea was like when we were forming the group, when we decided to make music together in the first place, we're like scrambling to find a logo and a name. Like, well, I don't know what to do. And he already had like this Spilt Tea ideation kind of already made for like a clothing line. And then we just took the name and the logo and just made it our group. And so it wasn't even really us. It was just something that we like quickly did. So when that change came to Lost in Lakewood, it was more like, okay, let's do something for us that actually represents us more.
Yeah.
Okay. Then, that's acceptable then. I accept the rebrand then, because you guys just have been confusing me so much with
So
the
many
name
changes.
changes.
But, and to be honest, he said that and other people as well. And I'm like, look at all of your favorite artists out there. A lot of them were a part of groups. A lot of them had different names. You just got to really like pay attention to the fact that as a human, you grow anyway. You get older. And I think I saw an interview by Jay-Z where they were really asking him, why don't you make that same kind of music anymore? And it's like, I got billionaire friends. I'm rich.
Yeah.
I'm not in the streets hustling no more, right? So your life changes. So maybe your name, the style of music, everything else changes along with that. So is confusing, but like as you go along, you'll see like, oh, these were boys and now they're men.
Yeah. So our next rebrand's coming next month. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're never rebranding again. That's it.
Nah, it's over.
We're Lost in Lakewood.
It's done.
So you guys have different music. It's not just rap. It's not hip hop. You guys blend different genres of music. Y'all have to check out their music. It is, like they said, you guys have such a variety of themes between love, loss, mental health.
Yeah.
But you also have those fun, upbeat songs.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you guys are just a whole vibe with your whole thing, musically. So how did you guys decide? How did that come about? Where did you get the concept of blending different genres?
Well, even before we became a group, we made music together, right? I always handled a lot more of the rap stuff, and he would handle a lot more of the melodies. But then when we became a group, it's kind of just testing the waters of what the audience wants, right? What is taking off and being the most popular. So when we came out with our very first song, Life is Sore, that kind of dictated what people wanted at that time. And it was kind of that pop punk, pop rap kind of vibe. And so we were like, okay, they're really digging this. Maybe we should make some more of this stuff and then still make other stuff, because we still release just straight hip hop records, right? Or just straight like super pop dancey records. But then we also do a lot where I think our main stuff would be the pop punk, pop rap kind of mixture there, because I think that's what the audience wanted and that's what we felt comfortable doing.
Yeah.
So
really, when it was so hard to get this guy to like do different stuff in the beginning, because he was your rapper's rapper. He would rap, which is cool. It was great. When we had our group that we were in years and years ago, he was the rapper. I was rapping still, but then I started like wanting to do more melodic things and sing, because I'm like, you know what? Wait a second. Rap is cool. Love it. We'll forever love it. It's ingrained in who we are. But other people don't seem to love it as much as you, the artist, does. how can we continue to do what we do, but make people listen to it without really jamming it down their throats, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how about we rap and sing? How about we just combine everything all together and see like where that goes? Hence, which the reason why we decided to join together stemmed from a release that we did called Be Alright.
Mm-hmm.
That was a song that I was able to get us the song distributed through The Orchard, which is part of Sony Records for distribution, and that was like a big move at that time. I'm like, well, I'm connected with Sony in a way, and it was actually received pretty well by people. So I was like, Brandon, let's link this thing together. We've already been doing it for so long. We know how to blend what you have and what I have together, and people love that. Let's continue it. Boom. And now Alone, and then all these other songs. And I think as we go on, we still continue to learn newer ways to do things. Like now I'm in this place where, not that I don't want to rap or even sing that much on a song. I want to like, okay, how can we truly show people that we are meshing our styles together? Because I don't need to like, oh, I'm doing the hook and I'm doing the verse and then you're doing the verse. How about I just stick to, let me do all the background stuff, the melodies, the hook, and you rap all the verses. Now that's a complete blend of us. And that doesn't mean every song will be like that, but now I'm like learning just for me what makes sense. Because I love to sing and I love to do the melodic stuff, and that's what I want to focus more on. And he should be honing in on his rapping. You can't do that when you only have one verse at a time or something like that.
Yeah.
You gotta continue to like work on that. So it's a method of growth, not only for us but for the listeners as well. You'll see that.
Yeah, well, you guys blend your sounds and styles so well that because I know if I've heard tracks where there's a singer, like you said, where there's a singer and rapper, and there's a disconnect.
Yeah.
But you guys blend so well, and that's one thing I've always appreciated about your music.
Thank you.
I think it also came down to like respecting what we each do. You know, he knows what I can do, and he's like, yo, you run with that, you know. And I a lot of ideas, you know, I just have so many, so I'll like instantly start acting on stuff and pass it to him like, hey, what do you think about this? Sometimes it's not all good, but most of the time he's like, yo, that's fire. I know exactly what I can do to like bring all that together, and then we kind of do that. So again, just respecting what we can bring to the table, and also like kind of listening to what's out there. I do my homework a lot.
Yeah.
People hate listening to the radio. I hear it all the time. Oh, it's the same stuff, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's true. I consider it as homework because I'm looking and listening to what these other artists are doing. Not that I'm going to imitate what they're doing, but there's a formula on how songs are made, you know, intros, bridges, whatever. There's a formula. And so a lot of people within the industry are kind of on that same formula, even though their music is different.
Yeah.
You got to get in line with that, or else you're always forever going to be looked at as local or underground, upcoming, whatever artist. And I wanted to make sure that when people are listening to our music, they're literally hearing that. They're hearing what they would already hear. And he'll tell you from the very beginning when we started, people always would say, your music sounds like it's supposed to be on the radio.
So
Yeah.
you're getting ahead of my interview here. That was gonna be one of my points. No, but you're right. I've seen your TikToks even where you almost have that mainstream like TikTok sound. That sounds bad. I don't want to say TikTok sound because you're not TikTok artists.
Right.
But you know, you have content you can put on there, and you know, I'll scroll and then I'll come up to an artist and I'm like, oh, that's catchy. I like that.
Yeah.
So your music is definitely it's captivating. It's easy to listen to. I don't get bored listening to your music.
That's good to hear.
But I've had the same thought before where you sound mainstream enough, but not to where you are going to be overplayed and get tired of it.
Right. And that's really it. Like hearing that, it's like, okay, we kind of did what we set out to do.
Yeah.
Like, I want people to think that, oh, they sound mainstream, but this is a fresh taste of mainstream. They don't sound like Doja Cat, no disrespect to Doja or anything like that, but, you know, she's kind of overplayed for many people. They sound they're at the right spot right now.
Yeah.
But, you know, one day, hopefully, people will probably think of us the same way. Like, man, I just hear them all the time. I'm tired of them. You know, so, yeah, it's being different. I love that.
Yeah, for sure. What music videos do we have coming up or already out that you guys
So,
have done?
well, going through the rebrand, we deleted everything.
Yeah,
right?
I saw
We
that.
deleted everything. All of our music, all of our
gone.
videos, all of the content, everything to go full fresh with the rebrand. So, yeah. But we do have some music videos coming in the works for a couple upcoming songs that we're going to be releasing this year. I don't want to leak too much about that, but just stay tuned, stay on the lookout for that. Stay watching our pages and our content and stuff, and you guys will definitely get to know when those are coming out.
And I may or may not leak some of the old videos, you know, just because.
I love the way you've done your videos in the past because you make it a straight up movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like you halfway put it together on the spot,
Yeah.
which I appreciate because I don't know how many times I've seen artists post on Facebook for props that they need an hour before their freaking
Yeah.
video is
Oh my
about to be
gosh,
shot.
I know.
I
I'm
can-
like, oh, guys.
I can tell you that, like, a lot of that stemmed from. So when I met him years ago, I was going to school to be a director, video guy, right?
Okay.
If I'm being completely honest with you, my dream and goal in life has not been music. It still isn't. I want to act. I want to make movies. I want to
Okay.
like do stuff like that. So when you see a lot of these videos that are like, man, that's very cinematic. It's movie like. There's a theme. It's not just like him rapping in front of the camera and smoking or whatever. It's like I'm engaged. It's because I'm like, yo, we need entertaining content, which you could do all this other crazy flashy stuff, which is entertaining. But like when I did one music video years ago, and when I was like looking through the comments and what people were saying, they were like, yo, I actually sat through that the whole time.
Right.
I liked it. I was like, so that's what needs to happen. People need to engage with a story, and like they can internalize that. And another way to explain it, when you watch a movie, right, they have a soundtrack of that movie. In certain places within that movie, that soundtrack really brings in that scene even more.
Yeah.
You know? And that's kind of what I think about our music. Like, if people listen to our music and we had a video, or you just place it on another video that may be similar to what the song is about, you can see, like, oh, that's a soundtrack song. I could really, really, truly see and vibe with the song. So,
Yeah. That's where you get the feel for it. And nothing against like just performance videos and stuff like that. I mean, content's content. That's good stuff
time and a place. For everything.
regardless. But, you know, yeah, I think the way to do music videos going forward in 2025 isn't going to be standing in front of the mic and rapping anymore, because everybody and their mom does that. It's going to be trying to stand out a little bit different,
Right.
and doing, you know, something like you said, telling a story, being a little bit more cinematic, and taking some more time and some more effort into doing it, even if that means less videos.
Right.
Right.
But it means
100%.
better videos.
Yeah.
Quality
So-
over
And then-
quantity.
Yeah.
As an
exactly.
artist, it's not just the fans that you're trying to get a hold of. And I think a lot of artists and creators, whether you're an artist, engineer, whoever, they think too much about, I need to hit 1 million plus people that are fans or potential fans. That is true, but when you are, let's just say, a nobody, you know, local artist, whatever, your goal, many of our goals, we want to be signed.
Yeah.
You really need to be pushing your music to industry folk, other engineers, other artists, other producers, because these people are the ones that can actually take your career to the next level. So if you're bringing out a music video that has like just a lot, it's a really good music video, kind of in sync with what actual signed artists and people that are out there are already doing, people can now visualize you like they visualize them. You know, Post Malone has this type of video, but Lostinlkwd, they got a video that's pretty much just like that. Cool. I see these guys as like the next big thing. Boom. So I think it's beyond just giving the fans something to attach to. You gotta people
think
like
what
you.
the industry
You know,
wants.
you see that video and you're like, dang, these guys are actually about it. Not saying everyone else isn't, but like that's different.
But it's
than-
fresh. It's new.
fresh.
It's
Yeah.
different.
It's fresh.
Yeah.
You can actually understand like these people can be somewhere one day because they're not just trying to give me the bare minimum.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how many videos, and again, like you said, not hating on
Right.
any of that type of videos, but it gets old, man. Guys, it gets old.
There's too much of it out there. I think it's just oversaturated now.
Yeah, and let's be real, it's 2025. You know, not everything that you did before can really apply to now. You know, music's been a thing for a long time. Rap has been a thing for a while now. You can't really just continue to do the same things of rap that were 10 years, 20 years ago. Spice it up. Spice it up. You're seeing a lot of rappers now blending their music with other genres, now doing more cinematic things and things of that nature. Because, I mean, let's be real. Rap right now is not doing well in the industry in terms of like financially. Its sales are low, and it might be because of like certain little things. I can't really say what it is, but I know the artists that go beyond rap are the ones that are making sales. They're getting more people. In other words, I could just give one example, and that'd be Post Malone.
That's
One
what I
of my
was thinking.
favorite artists, period. His videos are really good. His music, of course, you remember it was stemming from rap in the beginning, but now he's got a country album. He works with other pop singers and other people like that. The music hits better. And so that's kind of like where we need to be.
Yeah. Definitely. I don't know what that was. So I have some pictures and videos that I want to show off.
There we go.
So I need to know the stories behind these types of pictures you guys take, because it just interests me where people come up with their concepts of pictures. Was this an actual photo shoot, or was this like?
Not really.
We're just gonna take pictures.
We were shooting a video this day,
Which I'm going to leak.
and it ended up never dropping just because it was like in the middle of our
Oh, the rebrand.
rebrand.
Okay.
So we shot this, and then we just found this cool little spot, and we're like, well, hey, let's just take some pictures right here while we're here, kind of thing. So that's that one.
Okay. And then I have a couple of you guys on a boat or something. I don't even know.
This
Is
picture,
this a ferry?
I
Yeah, it's the
always
ferry.
say this looks like if you go to BECU and you look at their windows and it's like
yeah.
pictures of people like, get a card now, open an account now. This picture always looks like something like that, or like, you know, Pierce College or something like. But I love this. We actually went to Vashon Island to do some content for music that's out and not out yet. And, you know, we're like, hey, let's not waste being on this boat. Let's actually, you know, take some pictures and stuff.
Everything's content.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it has to be. You always have to
Absolutely.
make it content.
And then you had a second one, pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who took the videos, or did you guys, or the pictures? Did you guys just set up your camera and?
No, so
Yeah.
that's our other member, Baller Beats.
Okay.
He just recently moved to Arizona, but he's still a part of the team. So he's the producer. He does a lot of the video work that you've seen from us and pictures that you've seen from us. So yeah, that's who took it.
Awesome. And then we have a video, a performance.
That was a fun one.
Is this Christmas? Yo, I think this is Christmas.
Yeah, I think this was our show last year at the North End on Pearl. We did like a holiday toy drive. And sorry, when I say last year, I meant 2023.
Yeah.
Because it's so early.
Right.
And 2025 is new. Okay. So, but this was like a headline show we put together. We did a toy drive for foster kids and youth in need. And it was a great turnout. As you guys saw, everybody was having a good time. And We had some great openers as well.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. And yeah, man, shout out to the North End on Pearl for hosting us and having us. That was awesome.
I wish the video was a little longer because you guys, I've seen you guys perform in the past before, and you guys have a really great energy. Of course, your music is so vibey that it's easy.
Yeah.
You know, so I wish it was a little longer.
Yeah.
You know, we
Me-
could
me
seize,
too.
but
Me too.
Yeah. We got some stuff coming, so you'll be able to see some more here soon.
For sure.
But to speak on the, you know, you're seeing that and you're like, man, these guys, their stage presence is pretty good. Again, we love the music that we're doing, but like we're best friends. You know, this is my best friend, so like we can like literally do what we want and have fun doing it, and that's why it seems like that. It doesn't really seem like work when we're doing it. But this dude, he does get a little nervous beforehand, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm like, bro, we've been doing this for years. We're
Always.
good. Once we get on stage and I'm hyping you up and you're hyping me up, it's all good. And then that's really what happens when we're performing. Everything
I think a lot of
disappears.
people think like, since you like, for me, for example, like I do a lot of social media work and like I've been making music for so long, they're like, public speaking is probably like super easy for you. Like, nah, it's still, every time the first couple minutes when I'm on a stage or if I'm speaking at an event or whatever I'm doing, if I'm speaking in front of people or doing something in front of people, it's just the first couple minutes where the heart beats like, and then, you know, after
Once
that,
you're in,
you just get back in your routine.
Well, man, I kind of have the same thing because, you know, I'm a writer and I can write.
Yeah.
I can't speak. I
Yeah.
cannot think of
Yeah.
words on the spot at
Yeah.
all.
I feel that. I feel that.
So I get that. I definitely relate in that way. Oh, let me see. So we also have, not yet. Okay, so you guys performed, I think it was in September last year with Rocky Sandoval at the
Yes.
At the Madame Lou's.
Madam Lou's. Yeah.
How was that performance?
That was
It
fun.
was lit.
That was
Yeah.
good.
It was
That was a good
actually-
time.
I feel like every time we perform, I'm like, yo, that was our best one. But like, I think that one was pretty much that, like our best one in a way. We were in Seattle, so like, which is new for us. You know, we want to, even though we're from Lakewood, Tacoma, I was like, yo, we need to like kind of.
I should have sent
expand
you
our
some
reach.
pictures from that one.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it until today.
It's all good. No, that one was good. We did have a lot of hiccups in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like some serious hiccups. I
He
won't
was
say what.
pissed. He was
but
pissed.
yeah, I was so mad. But then I got on stage and got all of that like relieved. But there was a ton of hiccups that like were just so unplanned. Stuff that just happened last minute that it was just like. But I think that just goes to show that like getting past those obstacles and getting over those hurdles and still having a good time and still putting on the best show we possibly can is important, and that's what we did, and we had a really good time. A shout out to Rocky as well for having us, and to Alana Rich, one of the other openers. She killed it as well.
Yeah.
I think it was a really great show.
Yeah, and so Rocky's one of my homies. I write a couple songs for him or whatever, so he kind of like shows love and he kind of puts us on. So I think with that show, it was just really cool because you have Rocky, so R&B, Alana Rich, she's pop, and then you have Lostinlkwd, pop rap, basically. Like, man, this whole set is exactly where it needs to be. Everything is lining up, and then after the show, even Rocky and some others are like, yo, we might need to like kind of run with
that
this
back.
again because this is exactly, you know, this is the wheelhouse. You don't have to worry about, oh, everybody's doing R&B or pop, but then you got this hardcore metalcore rap or whatever that's coming in. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but everything should be in sync because you don't want people
blend
to
together properly.
Yeah, you don't want people to come here and then this other artist that's like totally different from the rest. Now everybody's disinterested. They're gonna go to the bar to get drinks or go outside for a smoke or whatever. You want everybody to continue to be engaged. So that show was just really good because of that.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. I know in the past with shows, and it even still happens, is a specific artist's fans will show up for that artist and then leave.
Yeah.
Do you guys still see that kind of happening?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah. I think
It happens all the time.
and I kind of brought it up about, at the show as well. It happened, we had, it was a good turnout for our set, but then as the night kind of progressed, it was like more people there, which is obvious. I was like, you know what? There has to be another way that artists can do these shows to where it's like, it's completely fair for everyone.
But I think at the same time, like, if we're being honest, you like ask somebody out that's a random person, like, hey, you want to go listen to some random local artists?
Yeah.
No, they want to go see their friend, right? They don't want to stay there and listen to these other random local artists. I will say the majority, there are some out there who are like, yes, hell yeah, let's go check out some new music and stuff, like, this is cool. But a lot of times that definitely happens. We try to encourage all of our friends to stay for the entire sets and everything, especially when we're headliners.
And that's why we stay. We stay for the whole show.
Yeah.
We don't like just come, perform.
I see artists doing that too. They'll come,
Artists do that
do
too.
their
Yeah.
set, and they'll bounce.
Yeah.
They do.
And it's like, what are you doing, man? You're not out there networking and talking to everybody else and just showing face and showing that you actually, like, you know what I'm saying, support everybody else on the bill. So,
And I think
I feel like a lot of that happens though a lot with like more so just hip hop stuff, like pure rap shows. I feel like that happens more often.
I don't know. Even like last year, I saw what was it? It was November. There was the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight, and as I'm watching like the fights through that night, from the beginning, the people are fighting, but you see that the stadium's not that packed, and then you see the next fight. Okay, there's more people. The next fight, there's more people.
So it's pretty
then the Mike
universal with
Tyson
different
fight,
things.
everybody
showed up.
Exactly, because that's the main event.
Yeah.
And when you know that that's when that, like a certain time when those people, artists, performers, whoever, are going to be on stage or whatever, that's when everybody wants to show up. I think what could help, I don't know exactly what could like make things better, but an idea that I have is maybe artists, when they're telling their fans that, they're selling their tickets to their friends, family, hey, I'm on at 5. Even though you're on at 9 or 8:30, I'm on at 5, y'all. They're all in the room. They're all in the building now.
I think another thing is like what we talked about earlier, what you mentioned with like having a lineup that matches with each other, that blends well. Because like, again, if you have just so different people on this lineup, it's going to be different crowds. Like this person's going to want to listen to rap all night. They're not going to want to listen to R&B. Like that's not even their wheelhouse of what they like. They came here to listen to some rap and stuff and do that. So I think matching up the lineup has to be really, really thought out and really done well. And then again, encouraging people to stay for the entire bill.
Yep.
Definitely. I agree. So I kind of want to talk to you guys before we get into the studio that you guys have, which is part of the main reason I'm having you on the show. Obviously, season 2 is all about artists with companies, businesses, or nonprofits of their own.
Right.
Yeah. So I want to talk to you guys about your TikToks. So congratulations, you have 1 million followers.
Thank you.
And
I do.
Action Frame, you're almost there. You got the 95.1, I think is what I saw today.
Yeah.
I don't know how the heck you guys get followers. Honestly, I've been having such a hard time getting people to follow and subscribe to Word on the Beat. But I also don't, I guess I don't really completely try hard enough. I don't know. But how...
So you heard her. Go follow Word on the Beat.
Follow Word on the Beat.
For real.
What made you guys decide to get into TikTok and do these product reviews and the Hey Listen Guy series?
Yeah.
It all started realistically from him.
Yeah.
COVID time was hitting.
Okay.
And Brandon was like, yo, Devon, which that's our real names if you didn't know.
Devon and Brandon. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's like, Devon, bro, get on TikTok. I'm like doing these little bullshit things and like I've got, I think you were like, 3 months, I'm already at like 200,000 followers or whatever. And I'm like, nah, bro. At the time, I'm still like either in my late 20s or about to be 30, whatever. I'm like, bro, I'm too old for that. That's kids and teenagers or whatever. So I didn't really follow suit till I kept seeing him more and more and more. And then I'm like, all right, he's kind of like on to something. So then I kind of tapped in and things eventually kind of came to what they are.
Yeah. I mean, same thing for me. I just kept going. I thought it was like a kid's app. I didn't know what the hell this was. And then I finally caved and downloaded it because I saw that there were some funny videos on there. And then I like was scrolling and I saw one of my friends on there and I was like, what the hell? He had like 60,000 followers or something. I was like, that's crazy. I was like, I just saw him last week. He never told me about this. What? And then I scrolled. I saw another one of my homies. And he had like 600,000 followers. And I was like, whoa, hold on a second. 600,000 followers? What is going on here? I was like, all right, let me try my hand at it and see what happens. So I just started posting stuff, random stuff. I mean, it was just the most random things ever about my life. And then I started to do more trendy stuff. I started to catch on to how the algorithm worked. Had my first, viral hit pretty early on. And then, that's my job now. It's my full-time job. That's what I do. So you mentioned owning businesses. We do own this. I don't want to leap too forward, but we do it on the studio. But I also own a social media business where I have an office in Tacoma as well.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And you've been traveling a lot, going to different TikTok
I haven't even
conferences
been.
or
I
something.
haven't even
We
been
can't
home
even get music
all
done
summer,
sometimes.
man.
This dude is gone.
Yeah,
all the time. I'm like, man.
I've been barely home. Let's just say that for
I
sure.
feel like I guess it didn't happen like out of the blue for you, but I just started noticing it.
Yeah, no, for
you,
sure.
and I was like, what is going on here? When did this happen?
And I mean, it was kind of out of the blue.
Yeah,
like I've been
for
doing
sure.
this for 5 years now, right? So it's like, it was a lot that took up to this point, but it was always, at the beginning, it was just a couple $100 a month. Like, wow, great, and then it started scaling and scaling to where it's like, whoa.
To the point where it's a job for you and you can support
Right.
yourself
Oh, yeah,
financially.
for sure,
Wow,
yeah.
that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, you can
Oh, yeah.
make real goals now, like,
Yeah.
or if not real goals, those goals were always real, but you're like, oh, I can actually obtain these now.
Now, I will say, I do work 24/7 at it, though. So that's the thing. A lot of people, if anybody's ever interested in doing social media stuff, that's the only thing you have to do is just work hard and dedicate your time at it. Like, my schedule's tight. I work 24/7, but it's worth it to have that, at the end of the day, that freedom to say, I don't want to fucking work today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or I want to come to the Word on the Beat interview today.
Yeah.
Right? I have the freedom to say that instead of asking somebody else for permission to do it.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
So,
And I'll say, I don't think any of this would happen if COVID didn't happen. Because we
Yeah.
would have been doing the same thing we were doing before. I mean, maybe it would
Yeah.
have, but like realistically,
I might not have ever
COVID
downloaded TikTok and like,
COVID made it happen.
COVID
'cause-
was, what it was is a supply.
Shout out COVID.
Right?
for
Come
real.
on.
That's not even a lot. So many people right now are rich and got motion because they paid
I
attention
think
to where we were.
what it
that
was
time.
really at the time was a supply and demand thing, right? Everybody was at home. So what are you doing? You're
Scrolling, you're on
scrolling.
the phone, you're...
And there wasn't enough creators for the content. So the people who were on the platforms at that time were just seeing this influx of support. Like, there was one night, like, I celebrated 300,000 followers. I was like, fuck yeah, we did it, guys. Like, let's go. Oh, my bad. I don't know if we're allowed to cuss on here, but I was like, hell. And then I woke up the next morning and I had like 405,000 followers.
Oh, wow.
So like 100,000 in less than 8 hours.
Yeah.
Insane. I had a couple videos going viral at the same time, and it was just like this craziness. So
Right.
that year was insane.
Right. And
But-
if you bring it to music though, which we haven't completely figured that out yet, but what I do know from what I'm seeing from other artists that are doing their creating content specifically for music is kind of stemming back to the videos. Like,
Yeah.
you making good content, good videos that are very engaging. They're not just I'm in front of the camera rapping or singing. Which some of that is definitely that, but having this different content. Speaking of what he just said, the support is there. Now, of course, there are tons of haters, tons of it, which if you're doing the right thing, that's still going to boost you up. but there's so much support, I just shared with him, like Lil Mosey recently, who's from Seattle. His mom passed a few weeks ago, right?
I didn't hear
and
about
he
that.
made this new song.
Now.
Last year, whatever. His mom passed last year, and he made a song called Call, and he made some content about that, basically saying, I miss you, Mom, and this stuff. Like, there was a huge amount of support for him for that. It's real life stuff. It's emotional. He's doing what he does best, which is make music, but now he's attaching something that's real. It's not always just the drugs and the rapper stuff.
Like with social media content, like music content on social media, it's just like anything else. It's just everyday grind. You do it every single day, and you're going to see results. Guaranteed. Right. As long as you do not stop and you do it every single day. You can't stop. That's the one thing. A lot of people are just like, and that's the one thing we still haven't even done yet, right? Because we went through the rebrand and a lot of stuff is going on. So once we dive into it and we go head first, it's a everyday thing. You can't stop posting. It's got to be every single day consistently.
That sounds exhausting.
I hate social media. And even now, while he's saying that, in my mind, I'm like, hell no.
But I post like 10 videos a day, right?
Okay.
So that's where I'm at, right?
Yeah.
So granted, I have the freedom to do that, but even when I was working a job, I was posting 6 videos a day, right? Like it's just that you got to find the time for it and you got to do it. And that's coming from me being a business owner, a father, you know what I'm saying? Working a 9 to 5, still doing the social media stuff, all of these things, I found time to do it. And you just, if you really want it, you really want it and it'll show.
And he's right, but at the same time, I don't want people to think that you got to make 6 videos a day, post them a day.
No, you don't have to.
You don't have to. It could
be as simple as 1 a day.
Yeah, but you really just need to come into your own, like, who am I when it comes to what people see publicly or on social media, and how do I, show what I do and who I am through this content the right way. If you're only posting a couple times a day or maybe a few times a week, there better be damn good content. You got to be on it. You know what you want to do. You have it planned. It's not just always running gun stuff, and it's gonna work. So you really just got to figure out what your thing is and what you want to say, because you do the right thing.
Is key.
You do the right thing. Boom. Now you got 50,000 people looking. You do it again. Now those 50,000 are growing to 70, and boom, 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 boom. Gotta just put your foot to the ground and just keep going.
Do you feel like, obviously when COVID hit, it was, you guys had said there wasn't as many creators out there. So now do you feel like it's kind of oversaturated, or is there
100%.
enough content?
There's enough out there.
Okay.
So because it's an ever-changing world of social media stuff, right? It's an ever-changing world. Like we're never going to talk about the same things. I'm never going to do exactly what you're doing, right? I'm doing so many different things that that's why niches are important, right? I don't really have a specific niche, but that's why it is that way. So like somebody who only talks about paranormal activities, like they're going to have a space on the platform. There's not 1 million people flooded talking about you know what I'm saying? So like there's going to be a space for that on the platform as long as they know how to execute it properly.
Right.
And I feel like it's not going to get oversaturated because of that. So there's so many different things that you can do as well. There's like some people who just do live streams. Right. There's a place for that. There's some people who just make, super long form cinematic content. There's people who do just like crazy transitions. There's people who do tips and tricks or tutorials.
There's this lady that I love. I can't remember the name, but she basically lip syncs in her bathroom to different songs, and she's hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
The girl who does the mirror thing, or no?
No, she's
Oh, for real?
yeah, she lip syncs to different major songs, but she's so crazy with her theatrical, with her performances. It's so cool.
See, that's the thing. Like there's an area for everyone, and I feel like it's definitely not oversaturated. Everybody wants to be a content creator though.
Yes.
Right? Because it's like the best job in the world. It's so easy. I don't have to break my back working anymore. But so at the end of the day, I think there will become a point where it is, but right now it's not.
But maybe, I don't know if we're just only talking about TikTok, but there probably will be a day. But just like every social media that there is or that there will be another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always a brand new platform.
Exactly.
There hasn't been one for a while yet.
Right.
But, you know, I mean, I think Instagram tried with the Threads thing, but, I mean, it's just...
Yeah, I think that was the most recent
Yeah,
thing that was tried.
that's the most recent I can think of something
actually,
that, like...
that Blue Sky or Blue Ski, whatever it's called. It's basically Twitter. Or X,
Yeah,
what
but
that was.
everything's basically Twitter now. It's just
I
talking
mean,
about
you get
Threads.
what I'm saying, but
same
there's like
thing.
new things that will be or that are already here, like TikTok for one. It was called, was it Musically at the time?
Yeah.
Teenagers were pretty much using it. It was
Vine.
a different
Vine was the same.
Boom.
R.I.P. Divine.
True.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I loved Vine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they kind of got absorbed into
No shade to
everything
Instagram,
else.
but Instagram they be taking everything from everybody, man. I mean, Snapchat had stories, Instagram had stories.
Yeah.
Vine had 6-second videos. Instagram was like, hey, we about to do 6-second videos. You know, Twitter was Twitter. Instagram was like, nah, we got Threads.
Yeah.
TikTok says TikToks. Instagram was like, we got Reels. I mean, it's just they try to consume every other app and be the one
Yeah.
app. But
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. There's always going to be something new. And as long as you're ahead of the curve and you're one of those first ones in on the ground floor on anything, you know, just like anybody who's on the ground floor of anything, you're going to see some success. So, yeah.
Okay. Now, let's backtrack a little bit and talk about your last project. I believe it was your last project.
Yeah.
Just thought you should know. Loved this
Thank
so much. I believe I did a review on it too, actually, on Word on the Beat. Go check it out. There was so much, again, with the different themes, but it still blended so well together. How was it putting this project together?
Well, for this project and the project prior, it was actually a lot of re-releases.
Okay.
But because when we first released everything under Spill Tea, it was all singles, right? So we catered that to be like, okay, I think there was like a couple new songs on there as well, though.
On both, yeah.
Because we wanted to, you know, give the people something new. But we catered our re-release to be like, okay, let's blend it properly to where it makes sense as a project, and then give the people some new stuff as well, because, yeah, we needed to re-release that music and get it out there.
Yeah.
But we wanted to do it in a
Yeah.
better way.
So many people, you know, even you, like, yo, where's this song?
Yeah, I
Where's
was
that
looking
at? And I
for
was
your
like,
stuff, and I was like,
Yeah.
you guys
I was-
took it all down.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it makes sense because you know.
Well, I didn't want us to just release these songs single by single again. I'm like, bro, we're gonna put all these in, package these together with some new songs, and we're gonna like put it out so we can move on with, you know,
And
with
get to the
with
super
other
fresh
music.
stuff
Yeah.
and get that done.
Yeah, I didn't want to make any new music until we got all of our stuff out, and so that's what happened.
And now all of our stuff is out. So go check it out. Go listen to it.
How do you guys create music? What is your process?
So there's so many different
So many different
processes.
ways and different processes. Yeah, honestly, like sometimes Devon will just be in the studio doing his own thing, and then he'll drop some music into the Google Drive and be like, guys, check this out, what I did today. You know, just the bare bones of a song.
And that happens a
And then
lot.
if we
Yeah.
like it, then it'll be like, okay, then that's where I come in and we figure out verses and stuff like that, and then we can actually map out the song. So some stuff may change, like from what the original, what he sent was, you know, some
Right.
lyrics or some melodies, whatever it is. But that's kind of how we do it. Or other times, there's been times we just been in the studio and we're like,
That's my favorite.
put something on.
Yeah.
That is my favorite.
And let's just
right
make
there.
something right now, just out of nowhere. We don't even have nothing in mind. Just put something on and see what comes to the head.
I remember when we first linked up with our engineer, No Man. Shout out No Man. He's done all of our music. So when I first found No Man, when he had his own studio elsewhere in Renton, I brought Brandon over. I'm like, yo, you got to meet this dude. He's dope. I've worked on some songs with him and blah, blah, blah. So I had a session. I was working on my own little 3-track project thing called Famous. And I got Brandon on a song that I had on that called Care. I was like, Brandon, we're literally going to do this right here. I don't have nothing written. You don't have anything written. We're gonna just like be just at the moment on this because this will be the most organic that people will have. We don't have to finish the song today, but like we could have something that's like, okay, we can work more later. We actually did finish the song that day, but I like doing that because I feel when you have two people working together, at least from my ear, if I'm listening to a song and there are two artists that are collaborating, I'm thinking, was this a paid feature? Or were these guys like really in the studio tapped in making music? And when I think about music that we should make, why it's so cohesive is because we're not all the time writing separately.
Yeah.
We're like keeping it like together. Maybe we are writing in the studio, or maybe we're just going right off the top on how we feel. Either way, that's like the most organic that I feel like our music could be. And that's why you and everyone else is thinking, wow, these guys work good together. They're blending together. That's why.
Yep.
Okay. That's awesome.
Agreed.
Now let's talk about your studio.
Yeah.
Hold on. Spilt Studios.
Spilt Studios. There she is. So we formed in 2022.
Sounds about right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think 2022.
It's been a minute. Yeah.
Been running ever since. Yeah, it was always something that I always wanted to do, was have my own studio. Like I had a home studio and stuff, like of course, but as every artist should have. But it came to a point where, you know, a lot of social media money was coming in at the time. Instagram was doing really good. And I was like, well, let's form something out of this so that we can take this money and invest it down the line, right? We're going to the studio, spending all of this money constantly.
Yep.
Well, let's just have a space where we can be our own, and then we can also take on clients and have it cover the overhead, and then we get to record music all day, anytime, no interruptions, for free.
Right.
And so that's what we did. We took that money and we built, we painted the whole place. We built all of the, acoustic panels, did everything ourselves, you know.
Self-made for real.
Yeah,
Like,
went
for
out.
real.
We went out. We found a booth, which was nice. Had to take that down and put it. There's our booth there. Had to take it down, put it together. Some upgrades have been done to the studio since this picture, but there's the gist of it. You get the gist of it. There's no man hard at work.
Yeah.
Hanging out. Typically, sometimes we'll have even 3 screens here because we'll have a MacBook here, monitor here, monitor here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our studio.
Yeah, realistically though, it came to be like when we were planning on doing this, I'm like, man, we schedule time to whatever studio, right? But maybe we'll make a song or 2 songs or whatever. I'm like, man, if we had our own studio, I'm in there whenever I want to
24/7.
be.
Right.
Yeah, whenever.
As
long as there's not a client.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Literally-
Shout out to clients because they keep us open. So.
Hundreds of songs, whether they're finished or like roughs or whatever, in that computer for us. For me, for him, for us, like hundreds of songs in there because I have access to it. I'll never willingly want to give this studio away or like cancel it out because of what I can do.
And where are you guys located?
So
Down the
we're
road.
we're down the road from
Down
here.
the road, yeah.
It's on Pack Ave. It has a Tacoma address, but it's Spanaway for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's across the street from like the Spanaway Lake Park,
Okay.
essentially.
Sprinkler, all that
It's
stuff,
right.
yeah.
It's right by
Awesome.
right
and
there.
do you guys run 24/7 or is there?
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah, anytime somebody wants to come. I mean,
Not early mornings like
Yeah,
that, because
yeah.
like, I love you, Matt, but he don't be waking up that early. So, but yeah, pretty much anytime, 24/7. I mean, if a client wanted a session at 5 a.m. for whatever reason, we could make it work. But
and now things are getting a little bit different. I had a homie that hit me up who wanted to lease out the studio, not necessarily for making music, but to have other artists in there, and they pretty much, okay, you're up, play your 5 tracks or your 3 tracks
Yep.
or whatever, and then the next person, kind of like a mini listening party, but with other creators in there.
we've also done audiobooks and stuff like that, so it's not just
That's awesome.
music. Yeah,
Okay.
which is cool.
Yeah,
No one
we've been
thinks
doing-
about that kind of thing either. I don't
No.
think it's just
I think when you have people that they don't have to necessarily be well versed in those things, but they already have some interest in those things. For me, I love movies.
Yeah.
Like I said, I come from that. So I'm already thinking like, oh man, we could like find people that are making their own movies and they need some audio work done on their voiceovers or audio books or
Yeah.
this studio is useful for many different reasons outside of just the music part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Agreed.
and as a business, you have to like make these things known to people, otherwise they'll never think to hire you for that. Now sometimes people can just magically come to ask you like, hey, do you do audiobooks? But I feel like whether
It ki-
you're
it
a
kinda
writer
fell
or
in our
someone
lap.
else,
Not even gonna lie to you.
it did. It really fell in our lap. But
It's cool though.
But I've always said like, man, we need to like find somebody that's writing like a kid's book or how to or whatever, and like just invite them in the studio, do an episode of an audio of a chapter of their book or whatever.
Yeah. So
then
it's
we
a
can-
market that like,
yeah.
you know,
It's pretty much, it's pretty untapped.
yeah, most
actually.
people, well,
It's small,
a lot
too.
of times I will
Yeah.
say this, voice actors typically have their at-home setup thing in their closet or whatever. So, you know, so that same way with as an artist having their home studio, they want to be able to work 24/7 whenever they
Yeah.
want. A lot of voiceover actors do have that. But, you know, when they're working with publishing companies and stuff like that, or maybe they're out and they're traveling, the publishing companies, they reach out to studios like ours and say, hey, we've got this person who needs this work done. Let's get it done. And, you know, they take
Awesome.
they take care of it. So
So I think you guys had a video of your setup too. That's a nice little space.
thank you.
Oh yeah.
That is
It is a cool
It's pretty. I've always said it's intimate. You know, would I like a bigger studio? 100%, and we will get to that. But now I'm like, with what we have, like man, we don't need 12,000 people in here. You
Right.
know, like you have this artist, the producer, the engineer, maybe a couple of other people that are involved or friends, and it's small. It's not meant to be weird. I went to a studio and we're in the room doing what we're doing, but outside of that is like a party happening or what at some event. I'm like, man, this is I'm trying to focus
This is
on
too
me
much.
right now.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
too much.
right?
I think
So-
as it kind of goes like the same thing as like I always think about it as like say you're staying somewhere for like you're on a trip for like 3 days and you're getting a hotel room and you got to have this big suite and it's like but you're never there. You're coming there to like lay your head at the end of the night, waking up and leaving again because you're on a trip. Like you're not spending time in the hotel room. Why are you having this massive space, right?
Yeah.
Why are you going to have this extremely big space when you really just need it to be intimate and where you guys can get down to the nitty gritty and create music? That's not to say that we haven't had events at the studio
Right.
and haven't had people in and doing other stuff like that, but it's, you know, I think that is part of it. But yeah, we definitely are going to upgrade to a different space here in the future. I think it's just right now perfect for us.
Yeah. So to kind of wrap this up, I want to ask you, what does 2025 hold for you guys? What can we expect
This studio or like
just
just
in general?
Oh man, I'll take a little bit of that. Quite a bit of things, but like still trying to, like he said, figure everything out with how our schedule is. I mean, right now we're making money off of TikTok, and you know, it's almost like if it's not broke, don't fix it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm kind of doing that at the moment. We're still like making the music and we're still planning, but I'm just gonna like be honest and real about it. I was telling him, I was like, man, maybe we should release less music, only because we can focus on those songs more, not just like from a recording standpoint, but like from a marketing standpoint. I do not want to put out 50 songs next year and have to market 50 songs.
Right.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that we won't put out more songs, but like if we can focus on the few, we can really make those the best. And let's see what that amount of focus does. So we have
I
some few
think
songs
we
coming out.
have a few songs coming out. We've been at a point before where we've dropped 35 songs in a year and it's just stressful and it's like too much, right? So I think, you know, cutting back and really being intimate, like we were just talking about, with just a few songs
Mm-hmm.
and then giving them the actual love and attention that they deserve, giving them that run
Right.
to see where they could go with them is like key, and it's like, not to say that we've dropped any bad songs, right? I might be biased here, but some songs that we have released are kind of like, well, that wasn't a hit or anything. That wasn't like, but so to be able to take time out of the, because out of every 20 songs somebody makes, one is going to be like the banger, right?
Right.
So taking time to actually just take the bangers and just release those instead of releasing the other 19 songs that come in between,
fillers.
finding the banger, and then just putting all your attention, time, and resources on those
Right.
is going to be the strategy going forward. And then strategy for the studio going forward is going to be definitely looking for a new location. We've already been doing that. It's kind of tough to find good real estate in this
Yep.
area, but we do want to upgrade. We're seeing great success. We've been in business for three years now, so it's like,
I haven't lost it yet, so that's a good thing.
month over month we're always growing, and
Yeah.
that's great. So I think as the business grows and we reinvest back into the business, it's best to find somewhere that's more suitable for that kind of thing. And then we could throw larger events.
Right.
Maybe
Right.
some live music stuff, or maybe some, bigger listening parties, whatever the case is, we can rent the venue out. Maybe we'll have like photo studios,
Yeah.
stuff like that is in the
Growth
is in the
general,
works
yeah.
for 2025.
And then on top of that, when it comes back to the music, because it is a studio, even though we ourselves as Lost in Lakewood are kind of slimming down the songs that we are actually releasing,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that there are not songs being released with us on them. The studio, Spilt Studios, now we have like a kind of a collaboration thing that we're doing now. It's called Spilt Squad. It's basically us, the people on the back end, songwriters, producers, engineers, working with other artists that are around, whether it's
we're
us,
distributing music as the studio.
distributing music as the studio. We're trying to create a new space for this music community to like people work with one another without feeling like the money thing is the upfront thing that you got to
Yeah.
worry about. That happens on the afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just want to be able to like the studio to be behind hits that are not just ours.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty much what that is. So last year we did release a couple songs, You and I Don't Mind,
Yep.
for the studio, which were like actually really good first introductions to that, because
To what's to come.
because they're kind of
Yeah.
like they're somewhat in line with our music, pop rap or whatever, mainstream sounding type of stuff. We want people to know, hey, mainstream sounding stuff is here in Washington.
Yeah.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people here don't even really realize. I just see so many people talking about, oh, Tacoma's quiet right now, and I always got a comment like, no, it is not.
Yeah.
You're really just tapped into one genre and not
Right.
these other people that are actually making good sounds and have motion.
Yeah.
And so it's just
Right.
trying to highlight that stuff.
Yep.
And that's pretty
Agreed.
much what we got going on.
Well, I'm so excited to
Us too.
see what else you guys have coming in the future for this year.
Yeah.
We will be tapped in. Word on the Beat will stay tapped in with you guys.
Yes.
So yeah, tell people to end this show. We're gonna tell people where they can find you guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna also have it all linked. It's linked in your article too, but
Right.
it'll
Yeah.
be linked in the description
For sure.
of the YouTube and on the website. So
Easy.
go ahead.
Well, on all music platforms streaming, it's Lost in Lakewood with the exclamation point at
L's,
the
baby.
end. So it's LOSTINLKWD with the exclamation point. And then all social media is just at Lost in Lakewood. No exclamation point because they wouldn't let us do that. So
Yeah.
whatever.
So that's where you can find that. Same for the
Haters.
music, all that stuff. Go out there and see for yourself. I know you heard what we did here today and like what we were talking about, but go actually
Yeah.
for yourself, listen to some stuff, watch some stuff, so you could really be like matching this with the actual work. And
yeah.
And again, go check out our article as well on wordonthebeat.net.
yeah,
Yes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been an amazing discussion with Lost in Lakewood. Go check out the performance video they have also done live for the show.
Yes, do that. Definitely do that.
That was a whole
Fun
vibe.
stuff.
The song was amazing.
Thank you.
Go follow Word on the Beat at Word on the Beat 1 on all social media platforms. That's Word on the Beat, the number 1. We are shooting at the LX3 Creative Space. If you need a podcast, studio time, photography, videography, I think we can even do listening parties here, game nights. We do it all. Tap in with us. We can get you connected with the studio. We have 2 amazing in-house producers, engineers upstairs. Stay Hydrated Studios that record 24/7. So tap in with them as well if you need some recordings time. And I think we're done. I
That's
think we've
it.
got it. So
We did it.
Thank you for tuning in, guys. Until next time.
Thanks for watching the Word on the Beat talk show. Be sure to follow us on all social media at Word on the Beat 1. That's Word on the Beat with the number 1. And visit our website at wordonthebeat.net for more updates and content. See you next time.